All right, guys, let's talk some preseason NBA. We got a 4-game slate on Monday. If you guys are looking for more in-depth content, you can check out my Patreon linked down below. A lot of different packages for DFS also offer a Prize Picks package. Prize Picks is a sponsor of the video. Make sure to use the code DKDFS for a 100% match up to $100. And take advantage of that if you are a first-time user. They do have NBA props, NFL props, basically every single sport you can think of, esports. You can mix and match. Basically how it works is you pick 2 to 5 player props, 2 up to 5 player props, and you can win up to 10x your money. So, and give it a try if you are a first-time user. And yeah, let's recap my lineup today. So, well, first, okay. So yesterday, I talked about this a bit in my NFL video that I just made. But yesterday, I played college football DFS. All right? I played the main slate. My quarterback got injured. Played the afternoon slate. Wide receiver got injured. Late slate, my running back got injured. So I'm thinking there's no possible. I've already been running bad, but there is literally no possible way I can run worse today than I did on Saturday. I was wrong. I ran worse. I joke about it in the Discord. And if you're in the Discord, you hear this from me multiple times a day, that no one runs worse. It's like a running joke. I'm starting to believe it. I am starting to believe it a little bit. Like, does anyone run worse than me? I don't think so. I really don't. Like, I'm truly starting to believe it. Again, it's really a joke, but like, the stuff that happens to me on a day in, day out basis, I'm just like, I mean, like an injury on I play college football DFS here and there. I've been doing well. Yesterday, every slate, I have an injury. Today, you want to talk about the stuff that happened to me today? I had T. Higgins. He got injured. I took the over in Dalton Schultz player prop. He got injured. I took, this really pissed me off. My first losing day on Prize Picks NBA Preseason. Took the under on Noel, that hit. I took the under on Andrew Wiggins points, 14.5. He shoots 75% from 3 to go over by 0.5. Oh no. Wait just 1 second, because there's one more to talk about. I take the under on Keegan Murray, 15.5 points. Now, we got news. The Kings are going to run 13 to 15 players. Really empty the bench. I'm thinking sure, he's a rookie. Sure, he's going to play about 20 minutes or so. There's no way, right? There's no way he's going to hit this. You know how I said Andrew Wiggins shot 75% from 3? Keegan Murray shot 85% from 3 to go over his prop by 0.5. I lose both props by 0.5 because Wiggins shoots 75% from 3. Murray shoots 85% from 3. What I said, right? Kind of joking about no one running worse, but also kind of serious. Right? And do not. I'm telling you, do not get me started on the things that occurred in the Laker game tonight. Just do not. Okay? Well, let's rewind a couple days. Again, I know I've talked about this before, but maybe you missed it, all right? Had a 10% on LeBron James that we knew before the game started was going to play high 20s minutes. I was on pace to win thousands of dollars. Had LeBron smashing at halftime. I'm on pace to win thousands of dollars. Darvin Ham literally said high 20s minutes. So what happens? LeBron benched. Doesn't come back, plays 15 minutes. And I lose out on thousands of dollars because of it. So I'm thinking, okay, right? Lakers veterans, they haven't been playing in the second half. Anthony Davis literally, everyone rested the last game, but the game before, Anthony Davis literally missed due to an injury. So I'm thinking, okay, a healthy LeBron, coach just flat out lies and doesn't play in the second half. There is no way, right? Anthony Davis is he's injured every game almost. There is no possible way that he's playing into the second half, right? There's no way. That makes no sense. That makes no sense if he plays in the second half, right? It just makes no sense. So I fade Anthony Davis because of it, right? I'm going to play guys who I know are going to play in the second half. I take a look at the ownership of Anthony Davis. He's massive chalk. So I'm like, all right. Yes, like the field, they're getting half Anthony Davis. This is huge, right? Again, no possible way that after what Darvin Ham did to me, a healthy LeBron sits him at halftime. That Anthony Davis literally injured everything. No way. No way is he playing in the second half. There's no way, right? But, looking at the stats, the first half, a little bit tilted, right? Anthony Davis has 22 real-life points at halftime. All right, I'm like, all right, that's extremely unlucky for those that faded. That's just, there's 22 points at halftime is a little bit out of this world, right? But all right, he's 30 or so fantasy points at halftime. All right, a little bit tilted about how hot he ran in the first half, but that's okay, right? Because there is just absolutely no chance, right? Zero chance that chalk Anthony Davis plays into the second half, right? Especially after what Darvin Ham did to me with LeBron James. Cost me thousands of dollars. No. Oh yeah. You better believe massive chalk Anthony Davis came right back out at halftime and played another shift and absolutely smashed against the Lakers front court. Right? Joke, but also kind of serious about no one running worse. I mean, really, the Anthony Davis thing that made me the most mad of everything that happened tonight, of everything that happened the last couple of days. The Anthony Davis returning at high and him playing the second half. I had to compose myself for these videos. I had to. I was like, all right. Gotta get myself ready. But is Darvin Ham serious? All right, going over my lineup: Trey Jones, Anthony Edwards, Reeves, Collins, Sabonis, Curry, Naz, Reed, and Nurkic. Naz Reed was a value play. I was all over. He was a core play tonight for me. Absolutely smashed. 41 fancy points of low ownership. Also had Steph Curry as a core play. He went for 35. Zach Collins pivoted to him as a core option. I mentioned how he's probably going to get in foul trouble because I made a pivot, and sure enough, he got in foul trouble. Right? It was just so typical. So yeah, that was the recap. I missed the cash by about 10 points in tournaments because chalk AD played. Darvin Ham. I mean, I have a list, right? I have a long list of coaches that we dislike. Darvin Ham, he's a new coach. So, strike one with the LeBron stuff, right? Promising high 20s minutes, only playing in the first half, cost me thousands of dollars. That's strike one. Strike two, what you just did with Anthony Davis tonight. Just absolutely no need for him to play in the second half. One more from him. He's added to the list. All right, now let's talk about this 4-game slate, guys. So Washington and Charlotte. Sorry, it's been a long day. It's been a really long day. Washington and Charlotte. Brad Beal's in health and safety protocols, so he's not going to be playing in this game. So let's start at the top with Porzingis and Kuzma. Both pretty good options. I do prefer Porzingis. He's been starting at the 5. The starters have been playing in the second half the first couple of games, so if we know for sure they are going to play in the second half again in this game, I think Porzingis makes for a great option. Also, fantastic matchup against the Charlotte front court, so he looks good. I think Kuzma's solid as well. Both the top spin-ups here for Washington look good. And then with no Brad Beal, you're going to have a lot more usage for guys like Monte Morris and Will Barton. I think both are solid options in the mid-range. Morris 6'1", Barton 6'9". Those guys are both decent plays. And then Denny's a bit banged up. Johnny Davis a bit banged up. We'll keep an eye on their status. Davis is awful, in my opinion, but he's been playing pretty big minutes through the first couple games, so he is in play at $4,000. Rui Hachimura, well, the game's no longer being played in Japan, so we'll see if maybe he's not as aggressive this game, but he played really well in those 2 games in Japan, so he's a viable option. Daniel Gafford, again, that backup 5, he'll be very productive when he's in the court. Always someone that I do have a little bit of interest in. DeLon Wright should get some backup point guard run. He's actually played relatively well. Only 3.1K is in play. All right, moving on to Charlotte. So, was this team bad? I mean, they are bad. There's bad, and then there's what this Charlotte Hornets team. I mean, they're right there with the Jazz. Right? Oof. The bench unit, I've talked about this last couple. There's no bench unit that's worse right now than the Charlotte Hornets bench. No bench unit that's worse. But let's talk about the 2 guards here with LaMelo and Rozier. So we did get confirmation before lock last game that starters, those 2 are going to play about 30 minutes. They both smashed, especially LaMelo went for, or that's his stat line from the game 2 games ago. But he had I don't know what it was, but he finished with a lot of fancy points last game. If we're going to get, close to 30 minutes again from the 2 guards in Ball and Rozier, I think both look good. Probably small lean to Ball, but like the ceiling of both them. Kelly Oubre's been the clear number 3 option here. He played 25 minutes last game. I think he's a pretty good option there in the mid-range. Not a ton of interest in Washington or Plumlee. I think there's other mid-range options I'd rather take a shot on. Now, we did get confirmation that Mark Williams is going to play the backup 5 last game. He's 3.4K. If we know that for sure, again, I think you can utilize him for value. Bo Knight shot 0 of 9 3 games ago. He shot 0 of 8 last game. He has been awful, but he's been a high-usage player when he's out there being that backup guard. So at the flat min price, worth a dart throw in tournaments. Philadelphia and Cleveland. So these 2 teams played a couple days ago. They only played the starters in the first half. You would think that the starters would play a bit more in this game, but we'll monitor it. Montrezl Harrell dealing with the strain. We'll see if he's going to be available. But yeah, starters. So you got Embiid, you got Harden at the top. I mean, if we get news for sure the starters going to play in the second half, then Embiid's going to be the guy for me. But Harden would still be viable as well. So again, if they're only going to play the first half, probably wouldn't go there. Harris, not really for me with Embiid and Harden, most likely both playing. And then Tyrese Maxey, this guy's just going to chuck when he's out there. So I'm okay with him in the mid-range. Again, he does have a high ceiling for sure, but floor is a bit lower when he's playing alongside guys like Embiid and Harden. No interest in PJ Tucker. Melton will be a high usage guy at the bench, but he's 5.9K. It's like, You have Paul Reed who's playing the backup 5 now. He's only $3,000. So he's the flat min price. And you might not have Montrezl Harrell too. So I do like some Paul Reed there. Again, a decent point per minute guy. Other bench options, a little bit interested in Shake Milton. He had a really good game last game, but don't know if he can replicate that type of production. Moving on to Cleveland. So Cleveland, Evan Mobley is probably not going to be playing for this one. That he's not overly concerned about his availability for the season opener. So don't think he'll play in this game, but again, we'll monitor it. Mitchell and Garland should lead the offense here. Mitchell had a really solid game in the first half. So both the guards in play here with Mitchell and Garland. Allen at 8-1 is fine, but I think there's other spend-ups I'd probably prefer. You also had Karis LeVert start and Kevin Love. So the downside here of this Cleveland starting lineup, this is what they started last game. Mitchell, Garland, LeVert, Love, Allen. Is a lot of high usage guys, right? Basically outside of Allen. The 2 guards, LeVert's going to chuck when he's out there, and Kevin Love too. So like that is the downside. Is this is a relatively balanced starting 5, if that's going to be what they start again. So the 2 guards in play, and then I think Kevin Love would be the other guy I would look to who's going to be productive when he's out there, but Again, 6.7K is still not super cheap. Bench, not a ton I trust. I mean, you saw decent minutes for Dean Wade. You saw Robin Lopez get back at 5 minutes. You got like a Coro and Osman. Raul Neto. It's a pretty gross bench. Not a ton that I love here on the Cleveland bench. Houston and Miami. So I'm going to say it every video, but man, I love this Houston team. I love this Houston team. I am so excited for this team this year to watch them, for DFS, for everything. Love them. Been talking about Tari Eason, Rookie of the Year since Summer League. Talking about Alfred Sengun. You guys know how much I love him. He's going to win Most Improved Player. Yes. Eason's winning Rookie of the Year. Sengun's winning Most Improved Player. The answer is yes. That's happening. But yeah, 2 guards here with KPJ and Jalen Green. So we got to keep an eye on Jabari Smith and Eric Gordon. Jabari Smith actually already ruled out. And did they rule out Eric Gordon too? Let's see. They did. So both Eric Gordon and Jabari Smith ruled out. You should get a starting lineup here of Porter, Green, Tate, Sengun, and KJ Martin would be my guess. So 2 guards look great. Again, they're going to run the show. KPJ, a little bit of higher floor. Jalen Green does have a ceiling, but a little bit more scoring dependent. Not a ton of interest in Jayshawn Tate. There's a value guy I would rather go to off the bench. We'll talk about here in a sec. My boy Sengun, it's a tough matchup here against Miami. Like Bam Adebayo is one of the better defenders in the league. But Sengun playing the 5, I think he's a pretty solid play. My only worry is he is prone to foul trouble. And I think that's something we actually do have to worry about a little bit here. So did want to mention that. KJ Martin most likely starts at the 4. I think he's a viable value play. But the guy I would rather go to off the bench is Tari Eason. And he's been someone I've been all over the last couple of games. He is still only 3.4K. So he's going to be popular. But this guy's been phenomenal off the bench. So maybe they even start him. I mean, maybe they start Tari Eason instead of KJ Martin. They could. Maybe they run a starting lineup of KPJ, Green, Tate, Eason, Sengun. Could happen. Don't really know if there's anyone else. I'll mention Josh Christopher, probably the only bench guy I would consider outside of Eason. Christopher will also chuck when he's out there. Good on the offensive end. So he's the last guy. I don't think I want to mess with Dusty Favors or any of these other bench guys. Moving on to Miami. So Miami looks like everyone's going to be available for this game. We'll keep an eye on news here for the starters, but they've kind of taken it easy so far in some of the vets. Like Jimmy and Lowry for a few of these games only played the first half. So it kind of comes down to news, which we may or may not get. But Bam Adebayo and Hero have been playing in the second half in the games that they have played. So Bam, Hero probably going to be your safest bets of these spend-ups here. Oladipo might even be back for this game. We'll see. Again, he's not on the injury report right now. So Miami's just kind of a big question mark with who. Is everyone for sure going to play here? And if they do, who exactly is playing what, right? So a little bit tricky to break down right now for the Heat. But I think, again, mainly Hero, Bam. If they do end up resting some of these guys again, then we can start talking about some of these value plays, which we were all over last slate. Finally, Phoenix and Denver. So Phoenix, no campaign, no Jay Crowder, no Cam Johnson. So they're going to be relatively thin. I think they probably start Torrey Craig for Cam Johnson. As far as the top end guys go, Booker and Paul are the 2 guys I like. Again, Paul's got a pretty high floor and high ceiling when he knocks down his shots, and Booker has a super high ceiling if he can hit his shots. So the 2 guards I do like quite a bit here for Phoenix. DeAndre Ayton I think is a decent play at 7'9", but would rather go to the guards. Bridges feels a bit too pricey for me at 6'5". I would rather go to high usage players at that price point. Torrey Craig most likely starts. If he's going to be popular, I think he's fish food. If he's going to be low owned, then you can play him, but I don't want to play a chalk Torrey Craig on a preseason slate, like I said. So we'll see. Again, I'll try to gauge what the ownership's going to be there. Jock Landell's been a guy I've really been high on last couple of slates. He's done pretty well. He's been the backup 5. He'll be productive when he's on the court. I think he's a viable option. And then as far as backup point goes, I mean, they got a few guys with no campaign, like Shamet, Damian Lee, TLC. Ugh. Yeah, that really does make me want to throw up inside this bench of TLC, Damian Lee, Landry Shamet. These guys are playable. They'll get minutes, but I don't feel great about any of those guys. Dario Saric should get a little bit of run too at 3.7. And he's actually decent as far as point per minute goes. So he's someone I think is at least in consideration as well. Finally, Denver. So they have a Jokic and Murray list as questionable, but I think they're more on the doubtful side. Do not expect them to go. We'll monitor news here. Last game they started, dusty DeAndre Jordan. Like, just start your young guys. start your young guys, right? Why? Why are we starting DeAndre Jordan, right? But Jordan actually is, even though he's complete dust, he's not bad point per minute. So if he starts for Jokic, you can use him at 3.4. With Jokic and Murray most likely not playing, Gordon, MPJ are guys that are going to have more usage. And then you most likely do get Bones Highland starting. If that is the case, Bones Highland's going to chuck when he's out there. I do like him. I am not tilted whatsoever about the last couple games here for Bones Highland. I played him a couple games ago when Mike Malone said they're going to play the bench unit a lot. He played 13 minutes. Didn't play him next game. Bones Highland had like 30 real-life points. Also with Jordan Poole tonight. Played him the first couple preseason slates. Awful shooting. Finally faded tonight. A 50 bomb for Poole. Again, the joke. Also kind of serious. One run's worth. KCP, Bruce Brown, it's fine. Zeke Naji should get some backup 5 run. I actually do think he's intriguing. So a little bit interested in a guy like Zeke Naji there at that price. And then, yeah, guys, so that will wrap it up for the video. Let me just say this. Can we please have a slate where coaches don't lie? Please have a slate where I don't have any injuries. And please have a slate where I don't have any of my low-owned players getting massive foul trouble. Okay? I don't ask for much. I really don't. I just want to run neutral. I just want to run neutral. It's anything but running awful like I have been the last. So, again, guys, appreciate for watching. Good luck on this 4-game slate, and I will see you all in the next video.